Okay, welcome everyone to the regular council meeting of Monday, May 27th, 2024. Members of the public can be present in the council chambers during the meeting, but also note that the webinar will be recorded and published to the city's YouTube site. So the first item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. And the recommendation is that the agenda for the regular council meeting of May 27th, 2024 be amended by deferring item 5.1, zoning amendment bylaw number 2943, 2024 to the June 10th, 2024 regular council meeting. Councilor Martin, Councilor Hanson, all those in favor? Thank you, carried unanimously. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of minutes. And we have two sets of minutes this evening. We have the Governance and Operations Committee meeting on May 13th, 2024, and the regular council meeting of May 13th, 2024. And the recommendation is that the minutes of the Governance and Operations Committee meeting and the regular council meeting, both held on May 13th, 2024, be adopted as circulated. Councilor Hanson and Councilor Martin, all those in favor? Thank you. Carried unanimously. And I see no one here for public question period, so we'll move on to item number 4. The adoption of the Governance and Operations Committee recommendations, May 13th, 2024. And the item is the Regional District of Kootenay Boundary Fire Training Ground Lease. Mr. McClure?
I certainly can. Thanks, Your Worship. Council has seen this, the GOC. We talked about it a while back there. The RDKB Fire Chief, Jan Derby, has been wanting us to get working or wanting to work with us on having a site for the training. This will benefit not only the RDKB regional service, but also our region as a whole, because now we won't need to send some of our firefighters off for training, but they'll be able to come and do that work here. And in fact, it will be helpful just on, making sure that not only do we get the training that we are needing to stay up to standard and be in our community, but they can actually use the staff that are on call. The staff that are scheduled that day. If they're working on that site and there's a call, they can leave from there. So it's one of the benefits of having it right beside the RDKB building. We do note that we're, got a 3-year lease and there are some renewals in there. So again, it's going to be something that as council works on and sees how it operates, that they have the option in the short term to be able to see if there's any changes that need to be made. This also is in conjunction with RDKB getting this lease allowed them to be successful in getting a grant to actually fund getting the apparatuses that they need for training. So I think it's a good news story. It's another, again, not option, but another way in which we're seeing us work together with our regional partners and try to provide service not only for the community, but for the region.
Councilor Hanson, you have a question?
I just wanted to speak to it, but I can wait till we make the motion and put it on the table.
Okay, so the recommendation is before council. Does someone want to move the recommendation? Councilor Benson, is there a seconder? Councilor Martin? Questions or comments?
Just a comment, I was kind of digging into this a bit, and I really think not only is it great for our region and our local firefighters that we have here, also for our economy as a whole. When we have other people coming here to train, that helps our economy and our community. Not to mention being able to potentially retain and attract more individuals as they're coming and doing their training, as opposed to going elsewhere and then maybe finding jobs elsewhere. So I think as a whole, this is great for retention, getting our fire service up to standard, providing more training for them, as well as supporting our economy. So I did want to speak to it that I fully support this.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, so the recommendation is before you. All those in favor? Thank you. That was carried unanimously. So we will move on to the council committee reports, and we have Councillor Benson up first.
Thank you, your worship. On May 15th, I attended the Columbia Duncan update. And no surprise that snowpack is low, and we expect Columbia River reservoirs to be low this year as well. They showed a slide which gives people a couple of options for obtaining information on levels. So you can go to bchydro.com for near real-time water level information. You can sign up for a weekly water level information email, or on their website, you can see there's a toll-free line that you can call and to get the reservoir level updates. On May 23rd, I attended the VISAC open house for the Jail Crow High School students art show, and then attended Business After Business hosted by Tech. And today, along with Councillor Martin and Mayor Jones, I attended the Community Safety Task Force meeting, and I'll let Councillor Martin speak to that. Short and sweet.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Benson. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. On the 15th, on behalf of council, I attended, pardon me, the following. On the 15th, I attended the Chamber of Commerce AGM. On the 16th, the LCCTDS AGM. And then on the 22nd, along with Councillor Hanson, attended the Downtown Improvement Committee meetings. That's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Cashel.
I have nothing to report, Mayor Jones.
Okay. Councillor Hanson.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. On the 14th, I attended the supportive housing meeting. And it was very clear and evident that communications regarding the new temporary shelter needs to be more evident in the community. And so BC Housing is very aware of that, and it's been discussed that as everything progresses, that it's important the community knows what's happening as things move forward. There's also going to be a sign going up on the site so people know where and that it's officially coming. On the 15th, I toured Vinci, Cherian, Ogi, Soriano, Marcello, Texira de Silva, and Douglas Winters around the new shelter site to see the progress. And then met with them to discuss some other housing opportunities that they're very excited to work with the City of Trail on some other opportunities for multi-levels of housing. On the 22nd, I attended the Downtown Trail Improvement Committee, and we did receive an update regarding the crime prevention through environmental design study. And it looks like Community Futures has found another potential grant opportunity. So fingers crossed on that. We should find out later in June if the grant is successful. And we developed some strategic priorities about getting some messaging out to the businesses that the Downtown Trail Improvement Committee exists and why we exist. There will be, or they exist, sorry. There will be a small introduction at the June 13th Business After Business held at Community Futures, just going into a bit of detail about the Downtown Trail Improvement Committee. And then on the 23rd, I very briefly attended the Business After Business hosted by Tech at the Chamber of Commerce office, where the new displays and enhanced new video about the history of tech were released and showcased. Also, the Trail Health and Environment program was there, explaining their partnership and what they do with the community as it relates to their relationship with tech. And that is all for my report.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hanson. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. On behalf of council, I, excuse me, attended the following meetings. On May 14th, I attended an East End Services meeting in Trail with the Regional District. Presentation from Elise Wren, she was the government relations for BC Transit. We also saw work plan updates for Coogee Boundary Regional Fire Rescue, Area B Regional Parks and Trails, Area A Noxious Weed Control, Victim Services, and East End Transit Services. There is a workshop on June 4th in the Victoria Room for the South Kootenay Green Link Active Transportation Plan, which is that continuous trail from Rawson to Fruitvale. Mr. Moorhead has been in communication with a consultant regarding someone from the city to possibly attend. Unfortunately, I will be out of town that day. On May 15th, along with Councillor Benson, I also attended the BC Hydro update. The one thing that I found interesting is that they're experiencing, as we all know, a low snowpack, which is resulting in low spring melt and lower river levels. 2024 is forecasted to be the 7th lowest return on record, and combined with 2023 will be the 4th lowest return since the 1950s. On May 16th, I attended a Trail Historical Society meeting. reviewed various committee reports. And I believe Mr. McClure has been in email communication with the society about when they will receive their annual funding from the city. Yes, sir.
I can confirm.
Copy that. On May 17th, I attended via Teams a provincial hazard update. The Emergency Management and Climate Readiness provided an update on the current wildfire situation, which has slowed down with the recent weather. And this year's freshet which is not expected to be as bad as previous years. On today, May 27th, Community Safety Task Force meeting right here in the committee room, along with Mr. McClure, Mayor Jones, and Councillor Benson. An RCMP update from Sergeant Wysanowicz. A new recruit coming to trail, and the first quarter stats are down 25% from last year. We had a housing presentation from Dr. Karen Goodison and Melissa Klein. We can share the PowerPoint with council because there's lots of good information, and we'll do that either after this meeting or tomorrow. There's a roundtable discussion on the committee membership review. We reviewed the terms of reference regarding the number of members on the committee. We're starting to get a lot of more people in what the terms of reference we're referring to, so. We had the updated Sharps disposal map. The city will, when I wrote this, it wasn't done, and now it's already done. The city will and has, maybe I might add, updated the current map of Sharps containers locations and have posted it on the city's webpage. We also had a look at a Sharps disposal kit, which will be for businesses, and it'll contain the necessary equipment to safely remove any discarded and used drug paraphernalia found near businesses. Now, this should be completed for the next meeting. That's it for my report. Feel free to contact me anytime should you have any questions regarding these meetings.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Martin. And Councillor Wilson is not here tonight. I have a very brief report. I wanted to report out on the renaming of the Butler Park ball field to the Jason Bay field. I was honored to be there and speak on behalf of the city because Jason was so humbled about it. And his family was so excited to be there. And he actually had quite a few family members and people that helped him along the way from the States, from Spokane come up. He billeted in Spokane for a while, so he had a great connection down there. So it was great to see everybody come out. The weather did not behave very well. It was windy and rainy but you know what, when we were doing the ceremony, it was like the skies parted and the sun came out and we were able to move on with it. And I just want to really send a big shout out to Keith Smythe and Glenn Wallace and the rest of the committee that did all the hard work and made this happen. What a difference. That ballpark looks amazing right now with the new lights, and it's just in great shape. So yeah, it was a really, really nice event. Other than that, I just, I've been everywhere everybody else has been, to the Bizet Gallery for open house for the student art. Really, really amazing artwork there. Wow. The kids have really done some beautiful stuff and really proud to show it off. The business after business, it was great to be there with Tech and just showing us the updates that they've made to the room. It was great. They've really updated it, and the Trail Health Environment Committee being there. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and we've all been doing the same thing. I really wanted to talk about and just basically give a shout out to the contractors that are doing the highway between Trail and Juanita right now. I think that they're doing an amazing job. It's very clean and organized, and they are doing all their work at night times. So it's really made it very convenient for the residents traveling back and forth. I just think it's such an organized and professional job that they're doing, and it's great to see. I know that they're working hard overnight and whenever they can get out there with the weather and that as well. I think that's my report for tonight. I don't know if anybody has any questions or, no? Council Patrick.
Just one comment on your report on the Jason Bay Field. Just want to point out that it was Luigi DeRosa's kind of vision and dream
Yes.
4 years ago to see this come through. So I think he deserves an
Mhm.
acknowledgement, a public acknowledgement, because it was quite a special event. Thank you for reporting on that, Mayor Jones.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up as well. He was, he's away, he's in Europe right now and he couldn't be there, but that was his dream, yeah. Okay, on to the consent agenda. We have one item under the consent agenda and it's a report on invoices paid for the municipal services, March 1st to the 31st, 2024. And the recommendation is that the item on the consent agenda be received for information. Councilor Butler, thank you. Councilor Martin, all those in favor? Any new business tonight? Okay. And the next item is adjournment. Is there someone that would like to make that motion, please? Councilor Hanson and Councilor Benson. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried unanimously.